Today we will be making this clay panda. For this project, you'll need white clay, black clay, and some clay tools. Let's get started. Warm up the clay with your hands and roll it into just some balls, or any shape is fine, just to get it warmed up and ready to go. Now we're going to take the white clay and we're going to divide it into 3 parts. 2/3 are going to be the body and 1/3 is going to be the head. Let's go ahead and take the head. Take the head and roll it into a ball. Then you're going to take the top part of the head and squeeze it just a little bit to kind of make a cone shape, but not too much of a cone shape. Put the head down on a flat surface and make a little bit of an indentation, and now we're ready for the body. We're going to take the body and you're going to roll that one too, and we're going to make a similar cone shape but longer. Also put it down and make an indentation so there's a flat bottom. Once your body's ready to go, now we're ready for the next step. Now we're going to make the arms and the legs of the panda. So take about half of the clay and then we're going to divide that half into 3 parts. And we are going to be making the arms and the legs. So take 1/3 of it and save that for the arms, and take the other 2/3 and this is going to be the legs. Roll the legs and then divide that in half so that we have 2 about evenly sized legs. Now put one of the legs to the side and roll the other leg. You're going to want part of the leg to be smaller, so roll it and make a little bit of a point, and then take the other end and you're going to put that against a flat surface to make it look like a paw, and then go ahead and stick it to the panda. Do the same thing with the other leg. Once both legs are on the panda, we're ready for the arms. Go ahead and get the arms, and now we're going to divide that in half, make 2 little arms, and you're going to make those similar to the legs. So you're going to roll them, and you want one part to be a little bit smaller than the end, and then you're going to take the end and press it to make a little bit of a paw, and that'll be smaller than the legs, and those are our little arms. So you're going to do the same thing with the other arm, and then you're going to stick it to the panda. Make sure that the arms are about the same length. If you want, you can put one of the arms down, or you could put one up and have the panda have some kind of gesture. Now you can stick the head just directly on top of the body, but it helps to have some kind of wire in order to keep the head on after baking. While it's wet, it'll be sticky, but once you bake it, it's not so sticky. Now we're going to take just a tiny bit of black clay, and this is going to become the ears. So we're going to divide that in half and just roll it a little bit and then bend it over to make like a C shape. And we're going to stick that on the head, and that will become the ear. Do the same thing on both sides to make 2 little black ears. Next up is going to be the eyes. So you're going to take a smaller amount than you did for the ears. You're going to roll it and stick it and make it kind of flat and round. You can make them different shapes. They don't have to be a perfect oval. And stick those on and make 2 big eyes. Now this isn't the actual eye, this is the black fur around the eye. Okay, so once that's done, we're gonna make a little bit of an indentation with a ball tool, and here you can see I messed up a little bit. It's okay, I just fixed it with my finger, and then I did it again. So that's where we're gonna put the actual eyeball. We're gonna take a tiny bit of white, just a tiny bit, roll it. Do not press it too hard. We will press it later once we add the pupil. So now you're gonna add just a tiny bit, even smaller than the white, of a black pupil. Stick that in there. And then you're going to want to just press a little bit with your tool to make sure that it will stay on. Finally, we're going to do the nose and the mouth area. So you're just going to roll a little bit of a ball and stick it for the nose, and then you can do either a white or a black nose on top. And there we have our panda. However, the panda looks like it's missing something, so let's make some bamboo. So we're going to use 2 colors of green, a dark green and a light green. The dark green will be the stem. So take however much you want to use. I'm taking about 1/5 of what I have because you don't need much. And that will be the stem of the bamboo. And then we need less leaf than we do stem. So I'm actually going to divide mine into 10 parts, and I'm going to take 1/10 of what I have so that I have half as less for the leaf than I do for the stem. And you could even use less than that. It depends on how many leaves you want to make. So now we're going to start to make the stems. I've divided it into 3, and they don't necessarily need to be the same size, so I'm going to make one of them longer than the other to kind of show bamboo growing at different heights. So you're just going to roll it into a cylinder shape, and then once you've got it into the cylinder shape, we're going to make it look more like bamboo by pressing the ends, because you know bamboo kind of looks pretty flat at the end. So we're going to press the ends into a flat surface and then roll it some more. Try to make it as straight as possible, but it won't be perfect. If you have wire, you can put some wire in the middle. That'll make them be even straighter. Now, since bamboo grows in segments, I'm going to just take my nail, or you can use a tool, to kind of roll the segments. So I'm rolling the cylinder as I kind of make a very light indentation, not trying to cut it, just trying to make a visible segment for the bamboo. So now you can just play around where you decide to place it. So as you can see, I've just played around on here and looked when you're placing them, look both front and back to see how it looks, to decide where you want to put your bamboo. I decided to put 2 of them on one side in the back, and then I thought it would be super cute to have the panda eating one. So I put the tiniest one up front, the little fat chubby one I made up front, and he's going to be taking a bite of that. So to make the bite, I just kind of tore off a little bit with my nail, and then I didn't like exactly how it tore, so I messed with it with the tool for a bit. You can do it however you want, because a bite's not going to be perfect, and that's actually, the less perfect it is, the better the bite. So now we're going to make the leaves now that we have the bamboo. So we're going to just take off a little tiny bit of the leaf, and it helps to hold it up to your bamboo to make sure it's the right size. And you're just going to take a little bit, roll it in your finger, and flatten it. You can also flatten it on a surface. If you want, you can point the end a little bit, make it a little bit pointed. And the thinner the leaf is, the more it will curl. So if you like the look of a curling leaf, you can make them thinner, and that'll the clay will naturally curl up a little bit when you remove it from the flat surfaces. So I'm just taking the leaves off, and I'm going to put them onto the panda. So just whatever you think looks good. I decided to stick the leaves on the segments. I know that bamboo naturally would have some shoots coming off, so if you wanted, you could take the dark clay and add a little bit more stems coming off of the bamboo to make it more realistic. I just stuck the leaves wherever I thought looked good. And there we have the panda. Please make sure to use adult supervision when baking, and bake according to the directions on the polymer clay that you purchased. Happy learning, guys, and I hope you have fun. Thanks for watching. Bye!